Okay, hello everybody. I'm Lynne at Savannah Yoga Barre. This is gentle yoga. So most of the class we will be low to the ground, take any variations or any modifications that you know that feel will work better for you today. Let's begin in child's pose. Bring your knees wide to the mat, big toes touching. Sit your hips back toward your heels. And let's have the arms outstretched today. Elbows, palms on the floor. So not much action in the arms, just getting a little bit of stretch. And turning your awareness to your breath. Letting this next hour be your self-care for the day, doing something good for you. So again, managing what happens on your mat. You're practicing at home, there's no one in the room to compete with. Try to let go of competing with yourself and simply do the practice that's going to serve you best today. Let's stay here for another breath or two. Maybe reach your arms farther forward so that the elbows lift off the mat. And then on an inhale, let's rock up to tabletop. So now your knees come under your hips, hands under your shoulders, moving through a few rounds of cat-cow. As you inhale, lift the tailbone, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, everything rounds, curling toward the front of your chest. Good. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round. And breathe in, get some space. Exhale, round the back. Inhale and exhale. Right, coming to neutral, you can walk your hands out a bit or walk your knees back. Let's tuck the toes and take a downward facing dog. The hips go high, heels go low. Press your hands forward as your chest moves back towards your legs, making an upside down V shape in your body. Engage your abdominal muscles, the pit of the belly lifts in and up. You might even bend your knees and lift your tailbone up a little bit. You could shake your head. Might feel nice to just walk it out. Bend one knee, press the other heel toward the ground. And stay with your breath in and out through your nostrils. And then settle into stillness. So if you were moving, just find yourself as still as you can be for 2 more breaths. In through the nostrils, out through the nostrils. And deep breath in, empty it out, and look forward. Walk your feet to your hands, and when you get to the top of your mat, your feet are outer hip distance apart. Catch opposite elbows for ragdoll. You might choose to stay still. You might sway. Your knees can be bent quite a bit here. If your hamstrings are tight, give some space. So we break the chain if we bend our knees. We're stretching from the heels all the way up to the sitting bones. Taking a bend in the knees will relieve some of that tightness or gripping. With an exhale, fingertips to the floor. Let's heel toe the feet a little bit closer. Press down, inhale, rise all the way up, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Ground down the 4 corners of both feet firmly to the earth. You might even lower your arms, look down at your feet, and lift and spread your toes. See if you can keep them spread, and then release them back onto the mat. Good. Inhale, circle the arms overhead, gaze up. Bring your hands through prayer, fold forward, Uttanasana. Lift halfway up, fingertips to shins, long spine, and then hands on the floor. Take your left leg far back into a low lunge. Bring your hands to your right knee. So your left toes are untucked. We're going to shift the pelvis forward, getting a nice stretch to the left thigh and hip. You can keep your hands here, or you might reach them overhead. And sink the pelvis a little closer to the earth if you have room. Then let's take it into a twist. Your left arm goes forward and your right arm goes back. And keep the spine tall so the crown of your head is above your sitting bones. Then we'll just do a little cartwheel action. Left hand down, right arm high. If you can turn your gaze towards your right thumb, look up. And then stretch your right arm away from your tailbone. So your bicep is near your ear, right foot heavy on the floor, knee hugging in toward the midline. Good. On an exhale, unwind, hands to the mat. Tuck your left toes and let's step the left foot to the top of the mat. Lift halfway up, breathe in. And fingertips down, right leg goes back. The same thing, second side. Untuck your toes, bring your hands to your left knee. Start to shift the hips forward, deepening the stretch in your right quadricep, hip flexors, and get your shoulders away from your ears. Low belly lifts. Good, reach your arms up if you choose. Tailbone is heavy, so this is a little bit of a back bend. If you need to shift your hips back some, that'll decrease the intensity. And then right arm forward, left arm back, taking it into a twist. Remember, we want to try to keep the top of the head above the tailbone. Stretch from the center of your chest out to your fingertips, and then right hand down, left fingertips high. Turn your gaze towards your left thumb and keep your left foot heavy, all four corners anchored to the mat. Finally, stretching your left arm forward if that feels good. Turn your heart a little bit more. Stay for one more in-breath. On an exhale, hands to the mat. Let's tuck the right toes and step back to downward facing dog. If you would rather do child's pose, please feel free to put your knees on the ground and sit your hips towards your heels. And getting a nice stretch through the entire back side of your body if you're in downward dog. If you're in child's pose, the stretch is just through your spine, which is fine. And stay for one more breath. When you inhale, look forward, and let's just tiptoe the feet toward the hands. Slow and easy. And when you get to the top of your mat, fingertips to your shins, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And stand all the way up. Reach the arms overhead, gaze up. Hands to your heart. Relax your shoulders. Reconnect your feet to the earth. And exhale, arms by your side. Good. Inhale, circle the arms, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Keep your spine as long as you can. Drop your head. Half lift, inhale. This time, right leg goes back first. Put your knee down. Lift your heart. Lift your arms. And exhale, lower your hands. Tuck your right toes. We're going to go to plank pose. And you can do plank with your knees on the mat. Slide your heart forward, shoulders away from your ears. Now lift your belly button. Start to lower yourself all the way to the ground. Inhale, Cobra, Bhujangasana. And exhale, lower slowly. Tuck your toes. Let's go to downward facing dog. Hips high, heels low. Good, left foot forward. Lower your knee, lift your heart, lift your arms. And belly button in, tailbone long. One more in-breath. Exhale, hands to the mat. Back to plank pose. Same again, you can put your knees on the floor every time. Pull your heart forward, elbows right by your side as you lower. Inhale, pull your heart forward, shoulders heavy, elbows in. Exhale, forehead touches, child's pose. Hips to your heels. Let's wrap the arms by the legs. Give your shoulders a few breaths to relax. And stay with your breath. And then reach your arms out, rock up to tabletop. Moving through some spinal balance. Take your right leg back, your toes are going to be on the floor. Puff the back of your knee up toward the ceiling. So we want to have the hip bone and the knee facing the ground. Then lift your leg parallel, press your heel to the back of your mat, and then reach your left arm forward. Hug everything to the midline. So all the way around your midsection, you're squeezing everything towards your spine. Your neck is long. When you exhale, lower your right knee and your left hand. Reset. The left leg goes back. Again, tuck your toes. Firm up the muscles to your left leg bones. Then lift your heel. Reach your right arm forward. Your bicep is near your ear. You're reaching from the center of your body out to your heel and out to your fingertips. One last breath in. Exhale, put all that down. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Let's pedal the feet a little bit, walk it out. And then on an inhale, lift your right leg behind you. We're going to step the right foot forward. You have the option to keep your left knee up or put it on the floor. Bring your hands to your right knee and start to lift your chest. If your left knee is off the ground, you can have it bent. Maybe the arms reach up, maybe you keep them low. Relax your shoulders. Take one more breath in. Exhale, hands to the mat. Right leg steps back, downward dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more inhale. Let it all go. Exhale. And left leg lifts high. Step it through, lunge. So same thing, you can keep your right knee lifted or put it on the floor. You might choose to have it lifted but bent. And maybe you reach your arms overhead or to your heart. You're in charge of you, so do what works. Relax your shoulders. No matter what the arms are doing, shoulders away from your ears. Good, let's take the hands to the mat. Step the right foot to meet the left. Half lift, breathe in. Exhale, fold. Catch opposite elbows. You can separate your feet a little bit if that makes you feel steadier. Maybe you choose to rock again. Do something that feels good to release your body, release your mind. Let's lower the hands to the mat. Bring your feet all the way to touch. We're going to start to bend the knees, let the heels lift, and have a seat. All right, once you're seated, we'll come cross-legged. It doesn't matter which foot is in front. And we're going to flex the feet, pressing the pinky toe side of your feet into the mat. Hands lightly resting on your thighs just above your knees. Now lift the sternum, upper arm bones back, front ribs in, engaging your abdominal muscles. Good, and we're still breathing. Take just a moment. Feel yourself connected to the earth, sitting bones, feet, anywhere else along the way that you feel yourself touching the mat, touching the earth. And on an inhale, circle your arms overhead. When you exhale, take your right hand to your left knee, left arm behind you. Good, back through center, inhale, reach up, other direction, left hand, right knee. Turn your heart. And with your breath, inhale, big reach. Exhale, turn. And inhale, stretch it up. Exhale, left to right. Good, once more, each direction. Reach and turn. The last time through, reach up and turn. Let's hold it here. Press down through your right hand. Lengthen up through the spine, and your left hand can resist against your right knee. Maybe you have room to turn your heart a little bit more, not forcing or shoving anything. Belly button pulling in towards your spine and lifting up just a little bit. It's called Uddiyana Bandha, or upward flying walk. And let's take one more breath. And then we're going to face center, right hand still on the floor. Let's lift the left arm and take a side bend. Keep your sitting bones heavy. You're stretching from your left hip crease all the way out to your fingertips. And slide your shoulder away from your ear. And you might look under your left arm. Make sure there's still breath, free and easy. And then back to center. I do a little shoulder shrug. We're going to switch and bring the other leg in front. So once you do that, make sure you're reconnected, balanced onto the earth. We'll take the hands to the knees. Once again, flex your feet and press the pinky toes into the mat. Come back to core. Wake up your abdominal muscles. And then let's reach up. This time, right hand, left knee, and we'll turn the other direction. So we're here for a few breaths. Remember, we want to press into the left hand. Use that to prop your spine up. And then right hand resisting the left knee to turn a little deeper, only if that feels good in your body. Remember, we don't ever want to force or jam anything. A couple more breaths. Not being in a hurry to deepen the twist. If you're at your edge, stay there. And we'll face back center, left hand on the floor, right arm reaches up. So you can press into your left hand more to help level the pelvis. You're reaching out through the right fingertips. Maybe you gaze under your right arm, wherever your neck feels comfortable. And stay for one more big breath in to reach, and hold it for the exhale. And then we'll lift up. All right, bring your hands to your knees, some seated cat-cows. Inhale, lift your chest, lift your gaze. Exhale, round the back, chin to chest. And two more just like that. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Good, last one. Big lift. Exhale, round. And then back to center. All right, let's keep the right leg in. Send your left leg out at a diagonal. Still anchoring through both sitting bones equally. So you might take your hands to your thighs and press down to feel that you're anchored. We're going to keep the left foot flexed so your knee and your toes are facing the ceiling. Good, turn your heart towards your left knee. Hands are on either side of your leg. Lift up super tall through your spine. A little more turn of the heart if you can. And then slowly start to walk yourself out, and you're leading with your heart, so the low back is long. We want to lift the waist up out of the pelvis, and you're just going to drape yourself out over your left leg any amount. If you're folded forward at 5 degrees, then that's where you're going to work. And make sure you are breathing. Get your shoulders out of your ears. And with an inhale, hinge back up. You want to keep your spine long on the way back up. All right, once you're back up, we're going to bend the left knee and slide the right leg so your knee is facing more forward. Let's see if we can get the left knee directly above the right knee. This is called Gomukhasana, or cow face pose. We're going to stay upright. The arms are going to stay relaxed by your side. But you do want to try to get your right heel out from under your left sitting bone. And if some of you have a block or a cushion or a blanket, you need to lift your pelvis. Sometimes sitting up and elevating your hips can help you find much more ease in this shape. Try to observe that your spine is lifting up, both sides of the body long. In fact, here's a good trick. If you take your thumbs into your armpits and lift the front of the armpits up, that's going to help you feel a nice lift and balance. And then try to keep that. Let your hands fall back either to your feet or to your thigh, but make sure that you're not rounding. You want to keep nice and open and lifted. If you haven't already, close your eyes and we'll stay just for about 3 more breaths. Feel the head perfectly balanced on top of your neck. All right, we have one more side to go. So you can rock back, maybe send your legs out, shake them out a little bit. And then when you're ready, left foot pulls in, right leg is out. So same thing, we want to have the toes and the knee facing the ceiling. Thigh bones are heavy to the mat. If you need to adjust, you can wiggle around and make sure that you're level from left to right. Then hands either side of your right leg. Inhale, lift up super tall through the spine. Start to drape your chest out over your right leg. Lead with your heart. So you're not trying to put your face on your shin. Imagine taking your heart all the way out to your big toe. That's going to give you the direction of lengthening rather than rounding. Shoulders away from your ears. And a few more breaths on this side. Relax your jaw. Soften your throat. When you're ready to take another inhale, remember we want to hinge slowly so the spine stays long. And you can bend your right knee, foot on the floor. Let's slide the left leg under, and then the right knee is going to come on top. So if you have a block or a blanket and you used it on the first side, you might want to do it again. But let's work first on getting the left foot out from underneath your right hip. Maybe the right foot goes out some too. And feel that you're balanced and grounded. And if it helped to crow, take your thumbs to your armpits, lift the front of the chest without flaring your front ribs out, and then let the hands rest wherever it's comfortable for you. You can close your eyes. Let your awareness turn inward for a few moments. This is the time you get to check in, observe how you're doing right now. We're about halfway through the practice, not quite, but almost. And how are you feeling? Is your breath moving freely in and out? Are you feeling calm and relaxed? And if not, if the answer to either one of those questions is no, my breath's not free, I'm not relaxed, then what can you let go of? Are there some thoughts that are popping up, things that you need to tend to later that you can't let go of? Try to turn that off. If you're unsure whether you're doing the shapes correctly, let that go. If you're in some kind of shape and it feels okay, you're doing it just fine. All right, let's release so you can rock back, send the legs out. Once again, just give them a little shake or bounce. You might even squeeze them, give a little massage. Good. And then let's bring the soles of the feet together. And I'm going to take my feet about 12 inches or so away from my pelvis. So in a traditional Baddha Konasana or cobbler's pose, the heels and the seat are very close together. I feel a lot more comfortable when my feet are farther apart or farther away. So you find your spot, but either way, we want to try to lift up nice and tall so the spine is upright. We're not collapsing and rounding into the back body. See if you can lift up a little bit taller. Draw your belly button in, and then press the feet together a lot. So feel that action and energy, and observe if when you do that, do your knees open a little bit more. Good. Let's take 3 more breaths. Hands outside your knees. Let's close the legs, feet on the floor. Hug both knees with both arms, sit up a little taller. Keep the chest lifted, drop your chin toward your chest. we're gonna take this into another little seated twist. You'll keep your left arm around your shins, your right hand goes behind you. We're gonna pull the hand pretty close into the low back so you're not leaning back. You wanna have the spine more upright, so press into your right hand, lift your chest, and then turn your heart away from your knees. Keep the back of the neck long, keep the knees and the ankles hugging in, both feet flat on the floor. Stay with your breath. Hollow out the low belly. One more breath on this side. And let's slowly undo through center. Right arm hugs your knees, left hand behind you. So I'm just going to turn. You can see nice and upright through the spine. Knees hug together, feet are flat. I'm going to lift up tall on the in-breath and start to turn on the out-breath. Press into the left hand. Try to move your upper arm bone back and down. Keep hugging your knees. Keep breathing. Lengthen when you inhale. Twist on the exhale. One more breath to this side. And we're going to slowly unwind back to center. All right, we're going to take a little bit of energetic work today. It's going to be some tricep work. So if you need to sit this out or any other shape, you're welcome to take a break. You could go to child's pose, or if there's some other shape you want to work on, you're free to do that. But we're going to take reverse table. So the feet are hip bone distance apart, as are the knees. So your knees are lined up with your second or third toes. We're going to take the hands behind us, and the fingers will point forward, or you can turn them out. So if you feel stuck in your shoulders, or if you do a lot of weight work and you have muscular shoulders, turning the hands out will feel a little bit better. It'll give you some more space. So the first thing we're going to do is press into the hands and lift the chest. So you're arching up through the back body. And then all you have to do is press into hands and feet and let your seat hover off the floor. Pull your belly button in. Just start to feel yourself balanced on your feet and your hands equally. And you might shift yourself forward and back until you feel that the weight is centered. When you feel you're in center, then put your seat back on the floor. Now we're going to lift up higher, and we'll do this with the breath. When you inhale, press into your hands and feet and lift as high as you can comfortably go, and then exhale, come all the way back down. Let's do that 3 more times. Press down, lift up. Maybe you get a little higher each time, and you can keep your chin towards your chest, gazing out towards your knees. Press and lift. And let's do one more for good measure. I lost count. This may be one extra, but it's okay. Good. And then lower. All right, let's cross the ankles. Take your right arm across your chest. It's a little release for the triceps. We're going to do some more work just like that. And then left arm comes across. All right, on the next round through, we're going to do a tricep dip. So as you set yourself up again, feet and knees hip bone distance apart, hands behind you. When you lift, you're going to come up as high as you can, and then bend the elbows and bring your hips to a hover. Press down and lift. Good. Bend the elbows. The elbows are going straight back. Good, that's 2. We're going to do 3 more. Press and lift. And just 2. Don't worry about how high you're getting up. Good, last one. Hover and press. This time, let's hover. The elbows are bent. Press into the heels of your hands. Hug your elbows toward the center line. And then lower. Once again, we'll cross the ankles. Right arm goes across. Let's drop the right ear to the left shoulder. Let the right Shoulder be heavy, get it away from your ear. And then switch sides, left arm goes across, right ear, right shoulder. Make sure that left shoulder is not hunching up, keep it heavy. And then back to center. Let's take the left arm forward. You're going to keep your elbow close to your waist, right fingers to left fingers. Get a nice little stretch. Switch sides. So I am not mirroring you today. I'm calling the same side that I'm doing. Hopefully you're doing the same side. Good. And then let's bring the elbows by the sides, fingers pointing up. Your fingers are going to spread. When you exhale, you're going to curl your fingers like you're revving a motorcycle, and then inhale, open and stretch. Then curl and open. Couple more. We haven't spent a whole lot of time on our hands today, but this might feel good to you. One more. And open. Now draw all of your fingertips together, spread them open, curl them in, pop, and curl, and pop, curl them in, let them explode, 2 more. Shoulders are relaxed, last one, curl the fingers, pop them out, and then shake them out. All right, we're gonna do a little bit more work before we start winding things down. I'll give you a good bit of time to relax today. But we are going to start in plank on our knees. So your hands are under your shoulders, your wrists are under your shoulders, your knees are on the floor, and you're not sinking your hips down and you're not lifting them. You want to feel like you have a diagonal line from your knees to your shoulders. So if I turn a little bit more sideways, you might be able to observe that. I can tuck my shirt in. So as you make this shape, we're going to start to move from this shape almost to child's pose, but it's going to hover. So this is some core work and arm work. As you inhale, you're going to bend your elbows, drop your chest, and then exhale. Slowly press your hips towards your heels. They're not going to touch. Good. Inhale, come back forward, elbows bend, keep your gaze just under your face, and press back almost to child's pose. We'll do 3 more. Inhale, rock it forward, and you may not bend your elbows at all, and that's perfect. Good. 2 more. Shift forward, belly button in and up, and exhale, press back. Good. We're going to come forward 1 more time and hold it. So you can stay in this plank with your arms extended, or you can slide your heart forward and bend your elbows. So a little bit more tricep work. Your arms may already be fatigued. You can skip this. But if you chose to do this, now we're all going to go back to child's pose. You can keep your knees together or open them wide. Rest your arms back by your side so your shoulders get a release. All right, when you're ready, let's come all the way down onto our belly. Just lie down, we'll prop up on our elbows for Sphinx pose. Your toes are pointed, the tops of your feet are pressing into the mat, your pubic bone is on the floor, and your front hip points are on the floor. We're trying to lift the low ribs. They may or may not lift, but we're going to engage the abdominal muscles. So press into your palms, press into your fingertips. Isometrically, like your hands are in cement, you're going to try to pull them back to slide your heart forward. This is a back bend. If it's a little too much, you can lower your chest, drop your shoulders away from your ears. If you're lifted or not, just keep breathing. Press down through your feet. Your knees may lift off the floor. Your thighs may lift up just a little bit, the lower thighs. One more in-breath. When you exhale, stack your hands. Let's windshield wiper the legs. A little release for the low back. Let's move into locust pose. It's called Shalabhasana. We're going to take the arms back by the side. Your palms are going to face the floor, as will your forehead. You can start with your forehead down. Press into the tops of the feet. Descend your tailbone. When you inhale, lift your head, neck, chest. Hands and arms can lift if you like, but keep your feet on the floor. Do not worry about how high you're getting off the ground. You may be very low. We're focusing more on extending the spine than lifting. One more in-breath. Exhale, lower. You can flip your palms to face up so the shoulders get a little bit more of a break. All right, let's do it again. And on the second round, you'll have the option to bring your arms and your legs up if that works for you today. So arms by your side, turn your palms down, turn your face toward the floor. Then inhale, lift your head, neck, chest, arms, maybe the legs lift. But again, we want to get longer rather than higher. So just stretch from your toes out through the top of your head, from your shoulders back to your fingertips. Take one more breath. Exhale, relax. If you want a windshield wiper, drop your feet side to side. Good, and then let's bring the hands under the shoulders and stand up on our knees. We'll take one round of camel pose. So another back bend. I'm going to have you tuck your toes for this, and I'll turn sideways so you have a little better view of where we're going. Try to bring your knees directly under the top of your head. We're going to take the palms open onto the low back. So you start to move the flesh of your buttocks down and then hug your elbows in. So the elbows aren't out, the shoulders are not dumping forward. We want to broaden the collarbones and point the elbows away from you. All right, with the hands supporting the sacrum, you're going to press the hip bones forward, lift your heart, and keep your gaze straight ahead so the chin is near your chest. Pull your belly button in, feel the tailbone going down, elbows still hugging in, and then slide your shoulders away from your ears. Stay for one more breath, and then lift your chest, untuck your toes, and sit back on your heels. Good, I said one, but let's try one more and just see, now that you have the shape, if you have room to deepen a little bit more. So on round two, you might drop your head back. If you're doing that, you're extending from between the shoulder blades up through the back of the neck to the crown of your head. You're not just pointing your chin toward the ceiling. You want to keep a little bit of space. Let's stand up on the knees again. You can tuck your toes. All right, so same setup. Palms onto your low back. Press the flesh of the buttocks down. Thigh bones move forward. Engage all around your core. It'll lift the heart. If you want to take the head back, take the crown of your head away from your chest and then look up. And some of you may be able to take your fingertips to your heels, but the thigh bones are still moving forward. You're not leaning back. Good. Two more breaths wherever you are. And if you're in child's pose, you're in child's pose. Good. And then chin to chest, hands to prayer, and let's slowly drop the hips to the heels. Let your low back settle here in neutral. Relax your throat. Soften the muscles around your eyes. Drop your tongue. we're gonna get onto our backs and we will be there for the rest of class. So just thinking about getting to the final relaxation to Shavasana. If you have a blanket or a throw near you and it's cool in your house, you might want to have that near you to put over you as we take final relaxation, because your body temperature will drop. I don't want you to have to get up later and find it. So if you want something, now would be the time to get that. So coming onto our backs, let's place the feet on the floor and we're going to hold on behind the knees. Lift up nice and tall, chin to chest, gazing down towards your belly button. You're going to start to round yourself all the way down, placing one vertebra at a time onto the mat. And once your head touches down, stretch your legs out. Just take a moment, feel yourself completely supported here onto the mat. Take a deeper breath in through the nose. Exhale out the mouth, let everything soften. And then when you're ready, we're going to bend the knees, place the feet on the floor. Let's see if I can change my angle a little bit so it might be easier for you to see. All right, so feet on the floor, heels are underneath your knees, if that works. You're going to have your feet, your knees, hip bone distance apart. Arms by your side. We're going to keep the feet heavy for now. Start to sink your belly button down toward the back of your body, down towards your mat. And then pull your right knee in, catch your shin. Just give it an easy squeeze. You might circle your ankle around or shake it out a little bit. And from here, simply reach your right heel up toward the ceiling. You're going to clasp your hands behind your right thigh and press your leg forward into your palms. So the hands are creating a little bit of resistance, the legs pressing forward and your foot's reaching up toward the ceiling. So we're activating the hamstrings before we release. Try to relax your shoulders. And from here, simply walk your hands towards your calf. If you need to keep them on your thigh, that's where you work. But maybe you can take them to your calf or your ankle, and we'll gently guide the right leg closer to the chest. You're not pulling on your leg. A very easy release for your hamstrings. Once again, soften your shoulders away from your ears. If you're rolling toward the top of your head and your chin's pointing up, let your chin fall towards your chest. And then begin to point and flex your foot. Circle your ankle. And circle the other direction. When you're ready, right ankle crosses your left knee, figure 4. Let's start with the right hand on the inner thigh and gently resist the knee away from you. Keep your right foot flexed. Your left hand may be anchoring your left hip to the ground. Try to observe that your pelvis is neutral. You're not rolling off to the right. Trying to find that balance. Some of you may choose to stay here. Some of you may want to thread your hand through, catch behind your thigh, and as you draw your left knee in, your right elbow can nudge your right knee away from you. It's a gentle encouragement. We're not pushing or shoving. Remember, it's gentle yoga. We want to be easy with ourselves. Maybe you can draw your left knee in a little closer, which in turn can afford you room to take your right knee farther away. And one more breath. And then let's lower the left foot to the floor, right foot to the floor. All right, if you need to just find yourself balanced onto your mat, and we'll take the left knee in, give a nice squeeze. Remember, if you want to shake your foot out or circle it or whatever feels good, just let your left ankle relax a little bit. Then back of the head on the floor, chin low. Take your left leg up, catch behind your thigh or behind your knee. And we're going to press the leg forward into the hands. The hands are resisting back. Left heel up toward the ceiling. You're creating action and energy. So imagine you're making a solid footprint on the ceiling. Sole of the left foot going straight up. A couple more breaths. Again, engaging the hamstring so that we can release. All right, when you're ready, start to relax the effort. Walk your hands up towards your ankle if you have room. Gently guide your leg in. And notice if your leg's turning out. You want to have the toes pointing straight toward the back of your mat. And then you can point and flex your foot. If you're doing this action, it's intentional. We're not just flailing around. We want to feel the stretch behind the ankle and then in the top of the foot. And begin to circle when you're ready. And don't forget, if you're circling one direction, then we circle the opposite direction. Right, left ankle crosses your right knee, figure 4. Hand inside the left thigh. We're just going to take a few breaths here, settling into the shape, creating balance in the pelvis. So notice if you're rolling more to the left. Come back to center, heavy through your right foot, right hand's helping to anchor the pelvis in neutral. You may choose to stay here, left foot is flexed, or thread through, draw your right knee in, and left elbow is nudging your left knee away from you. The left foot stays flexed. Your right foot may be dangling, it might be swinging around, but the left foot stays flexed. That's going to keep your left knee in a happy and healthy alignment. Stay for a few more breaths. Breathe into wherever you're feeling sensation. And right foot down, left foot down. Open your arms. Let's do some easy windshield wipers. Let's drop your knees from one side to the other. And we'll set up for bridge pose. So those of you who have a block or something similar nearby, you may choose a supported bridge. You could lift your pelvis and slide a block under your sacrum. And for those of you who are unsure, your sacrum is below your waistline. So you want to make sure that that broad bone at the base of the spine is resting on your block if you're using a block. If you're not using a block, great opportunity to breathe and create some more strength. Palms can be flat on the floor, press into your feet, and lift your hip bones. Especially if you're working in bridge, you want to keep the hip bones, knees, and ankles in a line. So the knees aren't falling open. We want to squeeze the inner thighs toward the center line. Keep your gaze straight overhead. You might even clasp your hands behind you, snuggle the shoulder blades closer together. Try to observe that you're grounded through the four corners of both feet, especially get to the inner arch side, the big toe side of your feet. If you're working, you're going to stay for one more inhale, and when you exhale, you lower. If you're supported, you're going to stay there. Now, for those of you who were working, if you want to take supported bridge, you can go ahead and put a support under you for the second and last round of bridge. If you're still working, we're going to press down and move through some drawbridges. So let's anchor into this elevated position first, and then take your arms up toward the ceiling and reach them back behind you. Keep pressing into the feet to lift the hips. When you exhale, slowly lower the arms and lower the spine, and press into your feet, lift everything up, arms reach overhead. And exhale, go down with control. 3 more just like that. Inhale, press down to lift. Lower slowly, visualize 1 vertebra at a time, peeling back down onto the mat. And lifting up, feet are heavy. Exhale, lower. We're going to do 1 more. Press down, lift up. You keep your arms overhead. When you are ready to take your next exhalation, lower your spine. When your buttocks go to the floor, 1 leg extends the other. If you're in supported bridge, go ahead and move your block. Take a full body stretch, reach from fingers to toes. And with an inhale, we'll circle the arms around, hug your knees, and give a nice easy rock across your low back. We'll move into a reclined spinal twist. So the easy twist is to have your knees stacked like you're sitting in a chair, arms out by your side. And you'll drop both legs to the right. Left shoulder blade stays heavy to the floor. And you might take your right hand to your left knee, get a little resistance to deepen the twist. But as always, you're in charge of what's happening on your mat. If this is too much, you can come out. The knees don't even have to touch the floor. Maybe you have 1 leg on top of the other. Whatever works in your body. We'll take 2 more full breaths on this side. When you're ready to inhale, let's come back to center. Put your feet on the floor, give a moment, reset your spine in neutral, then knees back over your hips, now legs to the left, gaze to the right. And same here, if you want to take your left hand to your right knee, use that as a gentle encouragement to deepen the rotation. If your right shoulder blade's off the floor, it's fine. You can set an intention to keep it heavy, but if it doesn't go all the way down, it doesn't go down. We'll stay for 2 more breaths on this side. Next inhale, bring your legs back to center, put your feet down, realign, and we'll take happy baby if you like that, if it's in your practice. Feet and knees wide, catch the outer edges of your feet. And you can just be here drawing your knees towards your armpits, or you might choose to rock a little bit. Do something that feels good before we get to final relaxation. Whenever you're ready, stretch your legs out. They're going to be a little bit wide, feet splayed open, arms by your side, palms up. And take a deep breath in through your nose, out through the mouth. Any last thoughts that are popping up, acknowledge them and let them go. You can pick anything up once you leave your mat. And for these next few minutes, just be here breathing. I'll let you know when it's time to move. Every muscle goes soft, all of your bones heavy. Your body is fully and completely supported onto your mat. Allow the breath to drop into a more natural rhythm. And take rest. Bringing some awareness back to your body and your breath. Feel the air on your skin. And hear the sounds outside of the room where you're practicing. You can choose to bring some movement back if you need more time in final relaxation. You are more than welcome to stay. I encourage you to take all the time you need to complete your practice, to take care of yourself. But when you're ready, you can roll off up to one side. Take just a moment. We were on our backs for about 15 minutes, so don't pop up too quickly. But when you do feel ready, slowly bring yourself up into a seated posture. Make your spine a little taller all the way from your sitting bones up through the crown of your head. And bring your palms to meet in front of your heart. You can bow your head in gratitude for the work you've done today, with gratitude for the practice. Thank you so much for choosing to be here and share your practice with me today. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your Friday and a good weekend. If you celebrate Easter, happy Easter. Let's lift our thumbs to forehead center. Together we say, Namaste. Thank you so much. I'm grateful that you chose to share your practice with me.